Oh boy. Oh, you're logging on, dude. Oh, there
Huh?
you are. Oh, wait, hold on, dude. I think we're about to like go big. Oh, I think we're oh boy. Oh boy. You're logging on, dude. Hold on. Oh, there
Huh?
you are. Yeah. We're on, dude. Oh, I like your background, dude.
You
That's
like my background?
yeah, what is that? It's at like some incense, dude.
Yeah, this is like my company is one of that's our Silk Road collection for our
Oh, Dan Z, may the force be with you, dude. All right, look at that. And we're in.
that's a gigantic incense burner behind me. So it's like
I
a big
see, I knew, dude. I could tell because I know you're about your sense, man.
well,
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
uh,
Let me see, dude. I'm just trying to make sure. I guess we're live because people are here, dude. What's going on? Hey everybody, it's been a while since we've done this. What's the sound check like, dude? It's a delay. Let me see what don't say anything, Jordan. Let me see where we are. People are here, dude. What's going on? Hey everybody, it's been a while since we've done this. What's the sound check like, dude? All right. All right. Sound check. I think we're good. We're here, the skatrix, first skatrix of 2024, Jordan. You seem
good.
sufficiently distracted, dude.
Sorry, bro. I was looking at something. Yeah.
What are
Well,
you
we're on. Hey,
wait,
good
wait,
to see you.
good to see you too, dude. It's been a minute. Wait, I forgot how this works. Hold on. I forgot I gotta get the chat over in the corner over here in
Good to
order.
be back on.
All right, the chat is up and running. You got Dan Z, dude, Drowning Monday. Michael Finks here. Barb Weist. 360 days of Adam, dude, is in the house, dude. Did you ever see I went down to San Diego, Jordan, and 365 days made me give him a bowl cut, dude.
Oh, nice.
I was down at the what is it, dude? It's not Channel Street, it's the other one. The skate
Washington Street.
Washington Street. I was doing some turns, man, and then I went up to
Good.
yeah, got recruited to give a
That's
bowl cut.
huge, man. When you can like travel, across state for giving bull cuts. That's
I just happened to be in the area, dude. So
good.
I was flagged, dude. I was I was known to be in the area. Bowl cut was requested.
How's life, man? How's it out there in
The
the
cows, the
Inland
cows got
Valley, kind of?
the cows got out on me today, and we're ripping it up for a little bit.
Oh,
And
okay.
I in the midst of that, I ran into our local gopher snake, who quick trying to chase some cows looks like a rattlesnake, but it wasn't. It was the local gopher snake, Reggie. It was Reggie. And yeah, it's good,
Name?
dude.
You gave him
What's
that
that?
name? You gave
Yeah,
him that name, Reggie?
yeah. We're friends with the animals here. I was super bummed. There's this toad that hangs out and somehow got caught in the pool filter, dude. I had to rescue it the other day. I think he's okay. He hopped away. He was pretty shook up, but
But you couldn't rescue your rooster from drowning.
no, the rooster drowned. That was Terex the rooster drowned on me. I think he was murdered by the goats, actually.
Huh.
Yeah, because it was the one rooster that lives with the goats. And so we had baby goats. And so it was the two sister goats and then the two babies and Terex, the rooster. And I think the one goat that didn't have any babies is slightly uptight about it. And I think
Hmm.
she might have murdered the rooster, dude.
Why would she get mad at the rooster and want to kill the rooster?
I don't know, dude. I mean, she might have just wanted to kill somebody, dude. She's a little bit more aggressive than she used to be since she didn't get knocked up. And no, I don't know. I don't know. So
I don't know, the Animal Farm by George Orwell comes to mind. That's what comes to mind.
yeah, yeah. The rooster was two, they were four. Four is more, dude. Four is more. So yeah, we got that going on, and I'm trying to just it's gonna supposed to rain a little bit this afternoon.
Yeah, we got a lot of rain up here this morning, and then sun came out and the rain went away.
Oh, because it's heading down this way.
Rained hard, dumped, and then
It
kept coming.
it's swooshing down to us, dude. So that's good. We can always use a little. And I'm trying to get the crops going this year, dude. I'm in Oz. I see a bunny rabbit right now, right outside
I've been lagging on that. I'm not even
that
it's
hangs
really,
out in the garden, dude. You're lagging, dude.
oh yeah, I mean, that wasn't even like no,
Yeah.
I wasn't even we weren't even we're gonna plant and we just haven't. So
This year I got two things. I got my irrigation, my drip irrigation all dialed in, and the strawberries are starting to boost. But I noticed something was getting into them, so I was out building. I'm wiring it in, dude. Just wires your chicken wire is your friend in these parts.
do you have a filter on your face? Because you look like you have really clear complexion.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Have you been doing masking like with clay
yeah,
masking?
I do scrubs, dude.
You've been
Yeah,
doing scrubs. You look like you've been
yeah,
scrubbing.
it's scrubbed with tension, dude. Tension scrubs, dude. Just, just tension, dude. You
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kids like 2-year-olds after 45 will definitely keep your complexion pretty
yeah.
decent if you work right. If you know how to kind of
I don't know, dude.
roll with the punches. But you're lucky you got, well, not I don't say lucky, but you got some older ones, so it's a different kind of stress. Yeah, or
No,
kind of tension,
it's
not stress.
more life stress. Well, I'm trying to approach the whole thing completely different. The gardening this year, because I've quadrupled the amount of land I'm gardening in this year. So
Awesome.
I'm trying to be I'm trying not to trip about it. Like I know I'm gonna get taxed by critters and animals and stuff. So I'm trying to just constantly have like new seedlings started and ready to go. Like I was
I
growing
mean,
my
you plant and God does the rest. And you have to
yeah, well, there's a
clean
certain
and
level
active.
of proactive,
Sure. You don't
you
want
know, the critters are on the move. Like there's a bunch of bunnies this year doing their thing. So I'm just trying not to trip. Like I got my radishes are coming in, but that something came in and snatched some of the green beans and when they were coming up, so I went and just replanted. Like four of them made it through the nibble, through the nibble phase, and so I just went and planted a bunch more. So I'm doing it on that thing versus the getting bummed about it. I'm trying
to.
and I'm putting all the copper wire and stuff in the ground to see if that actually does something.
Yeah. Well, I admire you for doing what you do because that's sort of the dream. I don't know about living inland, but the dream is to have a some significant land. Or
Well, I'll tell you what they don't tell you is it's hectic.
yeah, yeah.
It's the it's what was the thing about the boy in the dike with his fingers in the dike? It's like that. Just you're constantly plugging gaps in the thing, dude. So it's like that. So I'm trying to just let that be
That makes sense. Like, I like
yeah, it's
the dike analogy. That was
dikes,
I
yeah.
never heard that.
Are you getting triggered, dude? Are you about to go on a rant?
Yeah, I am triggered by that. Yeah. I just my hair, I had a blue beard for a while and I just dyed it back because
Dude,
I don't want
come
your
on.
followers to misjudge me or categorize me as being, I'm an undercover, super woke, um,
That's super woke.
super woke kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of
Well,
he, him.
well, we don't know. They've definitely like scrambled everybody's noggin lately.
No, I'm scrambled now. I'm really
I got
confused.
it.
I'm really
Well,
confused.
I'm not. I fucking see clearly, dude.
I'm totally confused. I don't know what's going on.
I got it. It's like I said,
I don't
it's
know
it's
anything.
the level of unmanageability is so paramount. It's crazy. Like that was the thing I just come in to I forgot I just watered a bunch of stuff. I'd fixed the broken fence.
Excuse me for eating,
Like
bro.
an hour. I came back from baseball
Mhm.
and I noticed one of the fences was broken from the cows trying to eat on the other side of the fence. So I was like, I gotta go fix the fence. And I'd fix the fence. And then I went in one fence and went out the other fence. So I don't think I locked the gate. And I went and I watered a bunch of stuff and was kind of doing stuff. And I went and sat down. Like I just sat down for a moment. Also, now I was like, Daisy's in the front yard. And I'm like, no, the cows are out. And so when the cows get out, they get pretty frisky for a moment, dude. I'm like, dude,
I'm gonna um I'm gonna change my background screen.
oh, why, dude? It's
I
not
want to share
it's
something
not
with
as
you.
happening as the bunnies,
I
dude.
want to share something with you. It could be a topic for discussion. Or should I just share it with you before I put something on? I know last time.
Don't
It's
just
not
be
anti-Semitic, don't worry.
well, I think on that it's I think that's the badge of honor at this point, dude. Jiminy.
No, 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 no. They're not doing anything.
Who? The
Them.
theys? The
They're not
they?
doing anything, bro. Just stop.
Stop. Just stop. Don't, don't.
I don't think, oh, it's not going to show up correctly. This is
Dude,
awesome.
no, we're not doing those guys, dude. Yeah, that's
Can I
better.
re can I read it to you?
What are you gonna read to me, dude?
Were you
It's
aware? Let me read it to you. It's good. Were you aware that both Microsoft and Intel moved to Israel, where all research, development, security, and core coding of their products are done? These products are being used by our Pentagon, our weapons labs, Boeing, your local businesses and universities, and they're core coded by graduates of the Israeli military intelligence programs, i.e., Telpiot and Unit 8200. Many of the Telpiot and Unit 8200 graduates are sons and daughters of Russian immigrants who fled the Soviet Union after the fall of the Berlin Wall. Isn't it odd how Russia and China seem to be able to easily hack our high technology and critical infrastructure? Interesting.
yeah, dude. Tim Pool says that you're not.
That's not Tim
You're
Pool, by the way.
what?
That's not Tim Pool, by the way.
I know.
He
I'm
wouldn't
saying
speak.
I'm
Tim
saying
Pool wouldn't say
I'm
something like
answering back on the behalf of Tim Pool to tell you that it's absurd to think that the big I is running anything, dude. Now.
oh, yeah, that's absurd.
Yeah, it's I've come to really see I think in the last 3 months it's really become to see who the gaslighters are. Like the level of gaslighting right now is incredible, dude.
Just two more sentences, and then I'll shut up. The truth
Two?
is, the truth is, Benjamin Netanyahu and his Likud party have utterly betrayed the United States. They were front and center in conducting espionage against the United States to assist Russia and China. We must face the fact that we are dealing with the greatest espionage scandal in history. There's a lady I really like a lot, and she's out of I'm not into politics. You know me, I'm pretty like handicapped when it comes to it. You're far more experienced than me. But look up this lady, Mary Silva. She's
Mary.
really a good lady. She's running for the Senate in she's running for the Senate in Washington State.
Oh,
She's a
stop.
decent lady.
Good
And
luck.
she's the only one. She just got in front of Michael Flynn the other day and handed him these flyers that I'm reading off of right now. She's the first person, I think, in probably a long time. I don't want to say in history, because these guys already know what's being done, but obviously they're paid to turn their back. But it is a little bit heartwarming to know that there's actually people that are in not in the federal runnings of politics, but at least in the state runnings.
Jordan, I got a pier to sell you off the coast of Gaza, dude.
You want me to jump off it?
No, I just want to sell it to you, dude. You know, like they would be like, I got a bridge to sell you. I got a pier.
I
got a
get
pier
it,
to sell
but
you,
that's
dude.
that is a what do you want me to say? That there's no good people that have any good intentions?
No, I at this point it's the I think you we had talked about it before. The trap had been laid and
I'm not saying to go headlong and get interested in any of this stuff. What I'm saying is that there's a constituency of there's a the awareness is growing, even though it's growing in weird ways amongst college activism and all that weird stuff is, but there's still good people who are waking up and they're going through the process. I do think it's ironic that they didn't do it during COVID, but you know,
well, it's the
this is a
from
different thing
from the
anyways.
I go back to the contract thing, dude. Where we kind of had our disagreement like 4 months ago about it, like in the sense, like I see this as all just maritime law trying to get people to contractually obligate their offsprings and their future progeny souls to the machine. And
Yeah, yeah,
and and so, it's all
I
those
agree.
guys and them and the whole thing, but you kind of saw it happen in the last 2 weeks pretty
I
heavily.
don't
Like,
disagree with that. But I do think that there is, whatever they've wanted to do for decades, or you could argue centuries, but decades in our lifetime, it's never quite panned out the way they exactly want it. They've gotten close and they're getting stuff done, but it's God's plan covers their plan. And I always think that they have high aspirations. When I say they, I mean the power structure, or you know, whoever you want to refer to them as. And that's all. I still think it's going to get worse. I don't think it's going to get any better. And so I am
I
healthily.
I, I'm on the thing that they got it. They already got it done, dude.
Well,
Like I'm on the thing now of it, or for a while of it that they've already done it. They don't need to do anything else. They've got all they needed to do was get the final batch of donkeys to like put their shields down and be like, yeah. So they got the Christian evangelicals to go whole hog into the thing, which was sort of the like second to last group they needed to get. And the group that I would consider us somewhat part of, they're not concerned about us. I just keep going back to that. They don't want us because they know we're not going to voluntarily give them what they want. But I think they've got everything they need. I don't see it as a big thing anymore in that sense. Like at this point,
well,
like I
yeah.
see
I
it
mean,
more as a
we're definitely over the hump, but I do think
yeah.
they want to build their third temple,
Well, I they're gonna
and
do
that is
that.
a very real. I'm just saying that is a
I
very
was
real
listening to this crazy
thing that
Orthodox
they would like
dude.
to do.
I was listening to this crazy Orthodox dude the other day, right? And he was like, dude, he had this pretty interesting thing. He's like, you can build all the temple you want, but you can't bring God till God wants to come.
Yeah, I heard, saw that guy.
And yeah, the guy with the bad teeth and it's sort of zany.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting because it goes to that thing that I group to is like I tend to like I get it, it's all in scripture and all that stuff.
I'm not even referring to that. What I'm saying is for them, that is the this sort of the Noahide laws are a real thing. Okay. That's not something that is like, and the Noahide laws is that everyone, I'm saying this is what they would like to do. I'm not saying they're going to do it or be able to, I'm not saying they're going to accomplish it, but this is ultimately what they're working towards is to have everyone who's not a quote unquote Jew, whatever that means, they have to follow the Noahide laws. And the way they would monitor people is through the different types of like credit score, like technology and things that China has, they want to implement that upon the masses of people, at least as many people as they can in the civilized world to make sure they're not disobeying. And one of the things is that if you speak against the state of Israel, then that's a crime worthy of capital punishment where you have to go to the guillotine.
Makes
That,
sense.
huh?
Makes sense.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's totally normal and logical for that to happen for sure. But
No, I mean that's what I'm saying but I like what I mean by they've already done it is
they've already got the people there mentally
but they've already got it like dialed in, right? In the sense
oh
of
yeah.
so
No, I agree. I agree.
if you look at the Chinese thing, right, with the total control via their technology, right? The total
Yeah,
social credit
social
score
credit
thing,
score.
right? So they've implemented that on a mass of people that are used to that, like in a sort of historical
Yeah,
context,
they're
right?
built for
Like
that.
they're more conducive to the human people farm perspective, which would be algorithmic control and credit score and all that. But with on the other side, they've already got that on us. It's they don't need to actually like bombard us. They flip the script where we're already watching it and
Volunteering.
participating in it.
Yeah,
Like I was talking to my friend about it who's all weird about that kind of stuff. And I go, dude, they don't need to do that because we're already voluntarily participating in it like the other way. Like they've got the like, we're coming to control you group of people to trick us to not realize that they don't need to do that because we've already that like your average bear has already signed up for this. Like
yeah.
they're already voluntarily in a social credit control system. Like they don't need to do that here. Like everybody's more than happy to be like, oh, okay, don't interrupt me again, please. I'll just feed them. We got the baby. We're hand raising another baby pigeon, dude. It's Al's alarm that the pigeon's gonna fly out of the box. It's right there. But no, so the way I see it is they've got everybody wrapped up in the like they've done the genius thing in America, right? You have the Corporation of the United States of America, and then you have the Constitutional Republic, right? And most people have no ability to see or even comprehend or understand the difference. So they don't need to like do any of that because they've already got everybody on the teat already. Like they got everyone, it's that thing of they got everyone thinking they're free enough to push back, and so they've already volunteered for it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see the big like the
I,
big
I, I, well, they would like to. I mean, I think that there is, you know, what's happened in Gaza, like that level of like, there's a little diversion, but it is worth mentioning, like that level of like audacity at the level where you can just, where the whole world is literally watching you. It's like you have a busload of people and this dude gets up and starts raping someone. And everyone on the bus is like, "What are you doing? Stop." And he's like, "How dare you accuse me of rape? You
Yeah.
know, you're anti-Semitic, you're anti-Semitic." I mean, that's how audacious and that these people are. So once you're able to do, but the reality of what people don't see is that they've done that already with the COVID measures. That was also another form of audacity. If you could make people believe that there's a scary virus that's going to kill them and they have to go and do ABC, medical intervention, and it doesn't exist, then you can convince them of everything, of anything. And I think that those were precursors to what we're experiencing now. Point being is that, yes, they've already convinced the people. That's why they're on the teat. They're already sucking away and they're not budging. And to get them to stop, feeding is going to be very, very, very painful. Just like a baby that you're
Well,
trying to
they're
wean
not
off
going
of
to
lead.
stop. They're
I'm just
not
saying,
gonna,
if you wanted to, if you were trying to wean people off, that is nearly impossible. And unless barring some sort of like major catastrophe that might get some people to like snap out of it, but it's
well, I mean, the game they did is pretty genius in the sense of you have two major ideologically opposite and opposing ritualistic slaughters of human beings occurring simultaneously, right? So you've got one group saying the slaughter in the wheat fields is abhorrent, but those same people they've somehow convinced to co-sign the slaughter in the desert, right? And vice versa. And then there's the group in the middle that's calling both of them out as the same thing. They're the same thing, ritualistic sacrifice of human souls in broad daylight being co-signed on with this corporate structure. And and all of a sudden here we are, man. So to no matter, you either stand against all of it or you've co-signed into it, you know.
it's
So
wonderful.
I don't see a difference between the two except for how it's like the level of how it's going on. Like it's the same thing, but now they've got anyone who would. What are you doing, dude? Why are you? No, I'm busy right now. You need to leave this room immediately, Owl, please. Okay, but not right now. Go do your thing, dude. What do you? I don't know. Go, but take a here. Have a thing of tape and tape something like your mouth shut. Okay. You get what I'm saying is so they don't need to do anything. It's just don't sign the contract. I've gone the complete other side of it. Like I get all on my lower dimensional level, get all irate about it because like I'm not going to sign the contract. You can't have my children or his children. But everybody else, like they've signed up. There's no stopping it. They're not going to stop anytime soon.
No, I mean,
Did you get that? Did you get that electronic intifada video I sent you?
I did.
I mean, dude, like there's a level of like they can't snuff it out. No matter what they do, dude. I go back to the premise I had long before any of this stuff got started, like 10 years ago, is you can't you can't kill God. They've tried over and over again through human history. The only thing they can do is have you voluntarily turn yourself off from God. And that's all this is about from what I see. It is is those people who've stayed tuned true, they're not getting hustled by this. And the Noahides and the World Economic Forum, whatever they all are, they don't need us because they know they can't have us. And that metaphysical truth goes deeper than their truth, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. I mean, I've gone to quite a bit of programs over the past 6 months here in the Bay Area with mostly fundraisers for Gaza, and some having to do with my son's school, and others were just, I think all of them were like fundraisers or small events. And a friend of mine lost like 30, he lost his whole entire family. 30, it's the Buckery family. They lost 30 of their family members in like a day. And there was, he's just like, thankful, which is, he says, Alhamdulillah, all praise to God for everything. I mean, this is God's plan. But it is, I think it's definitely it's woken a lot of people up with the way they understand, like, it's turned a lot of people towards God and towards like people who might have been like agnostic or even atheists are now starting to like look and search and soul search, which is really beautiful. I think those are really beautiful. That's a very powerful consequence.
Well, but on the converse of it is they've exposed people who claim they were rolling with God to prove that they weren't, because I'm still sticking with my baseline premise is Jesus don't drop bombs on children, man.
No prophet, no prophet said that. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam never did that either.
Yeah, no. So I think
it was always all the prophets of God are about breaking the idols of the hearts, breaking the idols that are in the hearts of people, so that they can turn the people towards God alone. But they never broke the idols first. Even Abraham didn't break the idols in the house in the house of God first. He broke the idols in the hearts of the people first. And then when he broke the idols, people were like, that's the thing, is that like Gaza in a strange way broke the idols of a lot of this sort of like what has been constructed in the hearts of people all these years, especially like pop culture in America. There's all these weird like celebrities and people looking up and glorifying these fake people. When all those people turned their back on Gaza, it made celebrityism and all that like just be like impotent and retarded looking. And those were big idols though for people, was like pop culture, and people still fall for that. But I do think a lot of the younger generation is more disenchanted by that, and they want to get to what's real. I don't agree necessarily with the whole college protest thing, in the sense of, I agree in the intention, but
well, it's again is the
but it's
the
a
college,
setup, is what I'm saying.
the college protest thing's interesting, right? Because as a person who is a trained activist and used to do all this stuff in his 20s himself, I'll go so far as to say that there is like the element that came out was true, and then the co-opting occurred right in the midst, in broad daylight. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
and so what you had was a legitimate thing, and what people don't understand, and people don't understand this. Like, I just highly suggest anyone who doesn't to go look into Judy Berry and the COINTELPRO of the Headwaters forest actions in the late 90s there. But what they have is they have ready to go, and this is, anyone who knows this, is it, they have people sitting on the sidelines all sorts of them. And when any of these things spark off, when whatever they may be,
Agitators, you mean?
they're called infiltrator provocateurs.
Yeah, provocateurs.
And they just go in and they just weasel their way in, like that the gal who was the in at Columbia, the one who was working with the New York police, right?
Yeah.
She's a psyop. That's not who was called, who what you're looking for. It's literally someone who's in your demographic, young, boom, that they go in and they know exactly what they're doing. So you probably had a window where like the first 5 days was like legit, like super legit. And then they sent in, they're like, all right, send in the minions, the agent provocateurs. And they go in and all they do is just subtly switch the tempo and boom, and right at the same time they got enough of those the frat boy types on the side to make it seem like those are the provocateurs, but those aren't the provocateurs. Again, it comes down to don't do an action with anybody. Like rule number one, dude. So like you know who I really think's like effective and they don't give any coverage is the gal from Code Pink, dude. She's gnarly, dude. That scene she pulls with Jerry Nadler walking down the halls of the Senate, dude, is crazy, dude. So what's that?
That's her. Code Pink.
The main gal from Code Pink, but she's an ex. She got all her thing rolling out of one of the Gulf War thing, I think.
Oh, is that the blonde haired lady, the elderly lady?
The elderly lady, yeah. But I think maybe her son got killed or something, was like something like that, dude. I forget what this story.
Oh, Jody Evans.
But what I'm saying is it's the genius move they pulled was the instant discrediting flop of it all. All they got to do is insert a couple trigger words in there, and then the dum-dums and like take the bait, and then the social media nonsense begins. So and here you go, dude. So yeah, like of course, dude, the whole anti thing is all there to do exactly that, like you said. Your head rolls into the basket, yo. But it's
I'm looking at Ashton Kutcher. She goes to this Airbnb event with Ashton Kutcher about settlements and Airbnb out of the settlements thing. I don't know if you saw that. Huh?
What's that? Again, I think like look on from an activist perspective is it all bleeds in like the maneuver they've got is to get everybody questioning everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When it's super obvious what's going on from a like just take a step back and ask yourself the truth question of again I go from the perspective of you until you take on the role of everybody in the thing, you can't really figure out the truth, right? Like I know exactly. I can get into the mentality of the dude flying the airplane and the mentality of the person sitting under the rubble, dude. Right? I get it. Like I've made peace with that within myself because I understand who I am and where I would sway best based upon like the situation I would be in, right? And so it's pretty easy to see this on like the level moving across the country. It's like, yeah, just blanket statement. They're all a bunch of like lame kids. Yeah, they get infiltrated by by the LGBTQ BLM lefty weirdos, but like, yeah, that's standard. That's to chase people like you and me off, right?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
chase.
it is like to, well, I would say I could find I could find or muster up the courage to look over that at certain levels, because the need is much greater than getting hung up with that. And it's such an obvious, it's such a universal humanitarian reality, like catastrophe, that it's expected that everyone and anyone who's a human with a heart, regardless of their proclivities, they would be protesting it. It's like duh, yeah. But
Well,
yeah, it does.
I go back to the thing is if you're like, and
But
this
it,
is
yeah,
the angle they got, because if you weren't outraged about Syria, if you weren't outraged about the Yemenis, if you weren't outraged about this, like what was going on in Somalia, or like this stuff goes on and on and on. So it's like, yeah, the thing they got is yeah, people are cherry picking their moment to be incensed about
yeah. I
the
think that Palestine is a little bit. I'm not saying it's different in the sense that people in all conflicts you've mentioned, quote unquote conflicts, not conflicts, they're basically massacres. Um, the difference, I think, is the religious connotation, and the blatancy of it all is just so off the charts, with 75 years of theft happening before our eyes, and then it being doubly justified, and all of the media play rallying, all their media, or the media rallying and legitimizing it all. It does wake up something inside everyone who has a heart, that this is just something that is like so off the charts, ridiculously absurd, that I have to like voice. Everyone feels like they should say something, and they should say something. But I, for years, look, as a Muslim, this is not, I mean, I used to be interrogated by FBI and Homeland Security and I was working for AT&T, strictly because I have a dumb beard. I mean, dumb beard from their perspective, and because I'm Muslim, um, I had to undergo dozens of interrogations, even had my rights read to me. I was arrested simply because I'm a Muslim. That's it. And so all of that poured into like all the, I mean, for me, it's like from 9/11 onwards, that's always been like the thing of just looking at and getting angry, and I guess yeah, I don't know. I can't really find the words, but it's ridiculous, man. It's insulting is what I'm trying to say. Like, getting framed for something you never did is one thing, but seeing your whole entire religious, like your community, because that's what Muslims we're connected by our faith all over the world, and to see all your Muslim brothers and sisters getting slaughtered, is very hard to see, So
but I guess what I'm kind of getting at it on that, like, yeah, till the turkey comes around to it, but like that's been going, what I'm getting at is like that's been going on. Like what you just described, that's not unique to, that's not a Muslim thing. That's the standard corporate model of corporate America, dude. That's the corporation of the United States of America. That's been going on to the people of the original people here
yeah,
since
but for
the
the past,
mid 1800s, and that's never stopped. I
no,
mean,
but yeah,
you
but
go
that
look at where the largest distribution of alcohol is in North America.
yeah, but
Where's the
the
most?
the Jew the the Jew.
You're caught up, Jordan. What I'm trying to say is you're caught up in that's the wrong perspective, in the sense of that those aren't the people that have been that eradicated the original people that were on this continent. Those aren't the people
No,
that are doing the
I
same
get
thing to the Sioux or the Lakota or the Navajo. Those aren't the people that did that to Guatemala, to Chile,
I'm
to
not, yeah, I'm referring to recent times now.
but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is there's no recent. It's an ongoing continuum, and it's like, yeah, now it switches over to a demographic that like
Yeah.
directly rings true to your home. Yes.
No, it's not that from the Jewish perspective, it's not that. It's the Ishmaelites and there is a 2,300-year-old animosity that is there. And yeah, all of these other, for sure, there's other cultures and races of people that have been wrongfully affected. But I'm talking about 50 different, you can say 50 different. There's literally been a Muslim country, 50 different Muslim countries in the past 50 years that have been, had to, suffer the brunt of democracy, quote unquote, to have been completely either regime rearranged or slaughtered, or it doesn't matter. You could say Yemen, Iraq, Afghanistan. I mean, the whole Muslim world has been picked apart more than any other. Not even, there's no comparison. Millions and millions. Aside from, I'm talking about, yeah, you could say like the different, the European sort of post-World War, even World War II, all of that happened in Ukraine and back then, those massive Holocausts, not the Holocaust itself, but the other massive, the Holodomor and other ones. But I'm saying in recent times that this is the last thing that's standing in the way, is Muslims and Islam, because that's the only religion that actually people practice and are loyal to. Everyone else is kind of not really, like, I'm talking about practically, when it comes to riba, like interest, when it comes to alcohol, when it comes to gambling, yeah, there's Muslims who screw up, but I'm talking by and large, you have a religion as a whole where the very things that are promoted by, by the tribe, Muslims generally don't have anything to do with it. And that's a problem for them,
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is how they're getting away with it. How they're getting away with it is everybody was more than happy to turn their back on 100 years of that happening across Central and South America and Southeast
Yeah,
Asia,
yeah, I
right?
agree. Yeah.
So we get to this point where everyone's incensed and this and that, and I look at it from more of a timeline perspective and go, my entire life, this has been happening to one group of people or the other. It doesn't matter how they butter their bread. Is as I view it, way as a different corporate entity, and I think that on a certain level is I think the labels might actually not ring true in the end. I think that yeah, they make sense because they fit into certain demographical understandings. But I go, if you were sitting right where I'm standing 150 165 years ago, you can literally read the dispatch reports from the United States Cavalry about right here, like right on the other side of the lake in Tilley Creek. You can read the same blatant, in your face, disregard, matter of fact, this is what we're going to do. It's
Yeah.
a big deal. Those people are subhuman. They don't register as us. There's no difference. You read the dispatch from across the creek here, and from 1860, it happens. We're going on right as the Civil War's, the emancipation's going on, by the way. You can read that dispatch. It's no less callous and in your face than anything Benjamin just said yesterday about the ICC and the West Bank.
Oh yeah, no, I agree from that standpoint. Yeah, no, that's for sure.
So what I'm getting at with back to the thing is how they're getting away with this is they've codified people into and I'm going to go to this, and I've been saying this for as long as I've been making videos here, is the ghosts in the machine is the original people. Until anyone in the West truly wants to acknowledge where we stand in North America and what we stand on in North America, we don't really have a like legitimate understanding of what is even going on, because as anyone here, it's like, yeah, it's going on right now, like right now in the Middle East and the wheat fields of Europe. It's occurring. But the reason it's occurring is because we're as a culture and a society and a group of people on the planet at this time refuse to acknowledge what happened in the middle of the 1800s and make peace with that. So it's happening again. And that's where the desensitization occurs, is because we're sitting with a ghost in our closet that we don't want to acknowledge. And that's what I'm telling you. Part of the weird hustle that went on in 2020 was all about that. Was about the what is it, the 1692 project or whatever it's called, dude, right? Is about making the slavery issue paramount versus the genocide, because as the Emancipation Proclamation's going on, the utter inhumane nature of the corporation of the United States of America is codifying itself in genocidal actions on the Great Plains of the Western United States to build the railroad, right? At the same time, they're supposedly freeing the slave for economic purposes. They're codifying genocide. So move the ball forward 170 years later, and we're like, well, why is this going on, and why can't we? Because we've been silent. My entire life, people don't want to acknowledge that truth because that's crazy. But I go, you can read the dispatches, and you might as well just put the IDF stamp on the bottom of them.
I totally, I hear you.
And that, remember we were talking about that, like when this started, is if you wanted to know what it looks like, if you wanted to send anybody, remember you had the stream going with your buddies, and I kept being like, you want to know what's going to happen and what it's going to look like, read what went on in the 1860s of the United States of America, what they're going to do, how it's going to work, the plan. Yeah, it's got a technology twist on it, but the reservation system is what it's all aiming for. It's no different than them wiping out the villages along the rivers and killing the buffalo. It's the same thing going on. It's just modern times. It's destroy their infrastructure. And who are the dudes in the tunnels that are fighting back? Well, they're Red Cloud and all these gnarly people in the Sioux who fought back. They're no different than the Comanches or the Geronimo or any of those guys. They've already fought this fight 170 years ago. You know what I mean? So when I see here and I look at what's going on, it's something deeper than the hustle of the bigs. I'm convinced the big Z's are side issuing us into this deeper metaphysical understanding of where we are in time and space. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's all valid. I think you're 100% valid. But I think it's a layer on that they're actually like projecting onto the dome, if you will. And if
Yeah,
we
I mean, in all honesty, I really have been, I haven't even been like really looking at things deeply in this way. I've been just trying to work on myself and realize I have a lot of my own stuff I need to fix with me and my family. So I haven't
right
really
there with you, brother.
looked very, very deeply into it, but that's the layer I'm at, is as a Muslim who um tries my level best to see the things happening in the world as, as a wisdom of God that's unfolding, and I'm supposed to respond to it, as a faithful believer. I'm supposed to try to be, obviously critical, but I'm also have to accept um that this is God's decree.
Absolutely.
There is a, there is an ancient sort of occultic layer to this. And that is where I think like that does go back to like what happened to the natives here, the Sioux and all of who you mentioned. And I do think that like that has that same occult presence. Um, it's very, that finds these atrocity that can do these atrocious things with an angelic face, and they can rationalize it all day and be matter of fact about it all day. I do think that there's a very satanic Luciferian model that's pretty consistent throughout history. And I
Well,
think
sure,
that
they're doing
that's
this. It's like
that's
the
what
mission.
I refer to as sort of the ancient, sort of conflict or battle in the
Well, it's
spiritual
it's
realm.
it's 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 the conquistadors, right? It's them coming and showing up and being completely misconstrued and using the name of God to slaughter those who have their own thing going on, right? It's a very that's what I find to be fascinating about it is we're like I break with the whole where I break with a lot of it, where I guess where I don't buy into it. Like it goes back to my thing is Jesus isn't flying in an F-15 Eagle dropping 2,000-pound bombs on anyone. If anything, Jesus is comforting the small child that the bomb's about to fall on, right?
Um,
And so like when I hear evangelicals or right wingers or conservatives get behind like some of this insanity, I go,
Well, I mean, that's the crazy thing is like this, whether it's a Zionist or a Talmudic rabbi, they none of them accept or believe in Jesus. And at any level, they don't believe
well,
that
that I think
there's
that's a entirely different like.
it's not though, it's relevant because that is the weird thing is that they've managed to sort of mind screw them so hard that it's almost like they're cock blocking the natural they are cock blocking the natural relationship between Christians and Muslims, because Muslims and Christians do at least believe that Jesus is the Messiah. We have difference of beliefs in regards to how we believe in him or directing our prayers. Muslims direct their prayers to God alone and Christians to Jesus. But both of us believe he's the Messiah, and both of us believe that he was born from Mary without the agency of a father. That was his miracle. And we believe he will return, and we believe he will enact justice. And some, you know, are, it might be that when Jesus returns, that he comes with more of a merciful approach than the fire and brimstone that the evangelicals are so horny for. And
Yeah, I
that's
don't get what they're, yeah. Like,
no, I'm serious because that's
no,
sort
no,
of
I'm with you, man.
that's
It's
what they're all banking on.
weird.
That's the legitimacy they find in what's happening in Gaza, because they're like foaming at the mouth with their erections that this is soon we're gonna get, Jesus is gonna come back and he's gonna rapture us into the heavens. And it's like, yeah, they might be pleasantly surprised, is what I'm starting to believe, that God's mercy outweighs his wrath, is all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And I just think that the satanic forces, they go double, they always do double the damage than than they need to, I guess.
Boy, it's a fascinating thing because, right, it gets down to this thing of it's lazy to me. It's this weird thing of like, right, like that mentality of pushing and working towards that is because you don't want to like occupy the land, right? Like you don't want to like you don't know the good news, right? You're trying to force. That's what I mean, is like listening to that crazy Zionist guy of like, dude, you can build all that, like the third temple, whatever, but you still can't bring in God till he's ready to come. So like, do what you want, weirdos. It's that same thing of
well, that what he was leaving out was, and this we can kind of we can go on back and forth on this for a while, but what he was leaving out is that the Kabbalists have a God complex. They do believe that they are a part of God. And that's a secret that people don't talk about. That's a part of the chosen mentality.
No, but I guess my thing is with the whole thing is it's no different than the big pharma shill Tony, right? Like, and all those guys back in 2020 was like, I wasn't afraid of them because I'm not putting them before God. So I don't like these guys either. I'm not tripping on them either. Like, what do they have to do with my relationship with God? Yeah, they get that, like they're doing some dark, evil, gnarly, like the love for the people that are falling victim to that evilness is paramount. But like their big plan, like, and that's where I trip on it is their big plan. What does it have to, so what?
No, I get it. Well, it's the so what part is, I just believe that it's important to know when you're being screwed over. It's important to know who's doing it. That's all. So that you can like navigate, and many people still don't know. Majority of Americans believe that 9/11 was done by a guy in the middle of a cave in the desert. So
tall guy.
So I mean,
and he looked like you.
Yeah.
No, but even that, like
brother, don't talk like this, brother. Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean,
even
you're
that,
my friend. I love America.
but most of these same people
I watched Baywatch.
don't even
Pamela Anderson. Go ahead. Sorry.
Most of those people don't even know that like the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. They haven't even read the documents that they suppose. So they don't know that they don't live in America. Like that's where like the thing with what's going on now is there is no America except the Corporation of America. Like the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and your inalienable rights granted to you by God because you're not a renter on this planet. you have to embody those within your own
Yeah.
soul self. Like this thinking that the thing that we live in is not to understand the corporate entity, right? And so you get into like, and that's where like I think you and I both agree. You split it down a different way with the noetic whole and the big Z and the whole thing. I just look at it as basic maritime law. And they have their contractual obligations put out in right in front of you, and they've tricked most people into to being part of the contract because they haven't read it. So, and they haven't even signed the contract. They just have ignored the fact that they haven't signed the contract. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so we get to this point where like most people are running around thinking that something about America and Americans and yeah, the corporate entity and their vassals, sure. But when I read, did I give you the whole thing about when you really read the Declaration of Independence and you read the Constitution and the Bill of Rights as personal documents, and you take their understanding no further than your own situational awareness in this life space, that it really does change their depth of meaning. Like
Mm.
the Constitution is some document sitting under some glass case that was written in 1776 or whenever it was written. It's
I
fine.
bought this book.
What?
This book.
Fruit from a poisonous tree. What's that about?
It's secrets that were never to be revealed. It's basically the Constitution was set aside during Civil War, during the Civil
Sure,
War, and
sure.
has never been in effect since.
No. The whole thing with Lincoln and what Lincoln does, Lincoln tears it. That was the whole thing that was going on. Like that's what I mean is because after at a certain point, that's exactly what was going on in during the Civil War. That was the whole battle. And it to the victors goes the spoils, right? So you look at the thing of the propaganda post Civil War, like what it meant and what it was all about. Like, do we really know? Because the one thing that we can know for sure that's public record is the fact that it was not a humanitarian endeavor. And that is played out obviously with what was going. You don't need to look any further than why Lincoln wanted to free the slaves in the beginning. He wasn't fired up about you can look at the fact that the last state to abolish slavery was a northern state, dude.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
What state was that?
I believe it was Maryland, dude. Let's see. Let me just check that.
My kid is bothering me. I gotta go and take him to his friend's house.
And so you look at this.
My kid is bothering me. I gotta take him to his friend's house. That sounded bad.
Oh no, dude, it was Texas actually. That's what the Juneteenth thing's all about,
Citizenship
dude.
is
Last date of last union. See, it's the
As a nation, we have more citizens in prison than any other country in the world, over 2 million, and 90% of the crimes of which they are accused are victimless crimes. The law they violated most likely was paid for by corporations to protect them from us.
yeah.
Anyways, we got to do this again. I want to fix like a 1 day out of the month, and we can like we had like these pretty cool topics last time that we pre-fixed. Maybe we could do that once a month at least.
I'm totally
That would
down
be
with
much
it.
easier to commit to, I think, than the weekly. That way we can collect some interesting factoids.
Well, it's man, it's been interesting. On the thing is, like, I really haven't been streaming much this year because, like, for like 4 months we had a client on the property, which you wouldn't think, but it really did kind of alter my like space with that kind of thing. And I think a lot of it just comes from just, like not rocking the boat, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
In a certain aspect of like, the transmission coming from my house has to represent all people in my house, kind of, right? And so having
Yeah.
a
One second.
having a
My kid.
fourth.
Oh, hello? I think it was some. Hmm. Okay, if you want to come, if you want me to take you there, then you're gonna have to come to the office and then I can drive you there. So it's really simple. Or you can just walk and I'll meet you at the bus stop on um on Alvarado Road. At, okay, all right, okay. Okay, do that. Just come to the office. All right, sorry. Sorry.
What do we got? 5 minutes?
Yeah, I got 5 minutes. Well,
All
you
right,
had someone, you have a troll on your you had a troll
we
on
did
your
we did for a minute. Yeah,
what did he say?
dude, you should see the you
Was he
should see
saying
the
that you fast forwarded my video part?
no, it was they were trying to end stack.
What's end stack?
Think about it, dude.
What? Oh, instigate.
No, end stack. It's called an end stack where you spell out something one letter at a time. You start with N and you end with R. It's called end stacking.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, the trolling that goes on over on my Lego channel, you wouldn't believe, Jordan. There's like 8 of us who hang out over there. Like we get bombarded, dude. But no, what I
I
was
still don't understand what was the word that he what I'm just
starts with N and starts with N. What's the most offensive word that starts with N? And it's not nap. And it's not Nancy.
Oh no
Yeah, that one. If they stack the letters in their post to spell it out
he
in the
probably
chat.
wanted to say put sand in front of it.
No, it's a bot. I banned. I had to go and ban the entire alphabet one letter at a time, dude.
Oh, okay.
But forget about all that for a second, brother. What I think why we've always done this and what we've done is we're two dads dealing with life. It's gnarly. We're two dudes who are working on our relationship with God, and we constantly are falling short. And we're doing our very best to like not fall short. And we check in a lot and in our own side reality. And we're both skateboarders. And and yeah, and we like to get into the nitty gritty of the insanity for a minute. But at the end of the day, I think we're on the same page. It's like the hardest thing you'll ever have to do is stay level headed in the middle of a family
Yep.
and not be the wicked oppressor that you hope to fight. You know,
Totally, dude. That's
there's
it. Yep.
there's no listen, man, and why there's no bigger asshole on the planet than me when it comes to my little world, right?
I mean, I can't disagree with that. I mean, not you, but I
Yeah, no, but so it's so and I go just to like wrap it up. I think that's what I kind of was getting back with the thing is they got everybody worried about like outside issues while like dudes like you and I we talk regularly about it. It's like our struggle isn't with that. It's like that we got to focus on how we're behaving just like the oppressor in our own world, dude. I'm no different than some lunatic state sometimes, with my own screws coming out of my own forehead, being a donkey, dude. And so, yeah, it's way easier to distract myself with like what's going on over there, because like that's so dark and gnarly. It so eclipses my own darkness, right?
Yeah.
But then when I pull the lens back and go, you know what? Like, what am I doing in my own household that equates to that exponentially if it continues, right? And I go, oh yeah, I plant those seeds. I do that. It's small scale, but is it any real different? Is there any real difference sometimes with some of those edicts coming out of the out of from those dudes over there with their blue ties than some of my vibes on catch me at the wrong time, because I'm in a mood. And then at the same time, I go out there and I try to like be at one with the land and let God guide me and try to figure out how to grow a cucumber.
I think Ira dreidel bomb is a little bit more over the top though.
They're super over the top. No, that my point is they're
The
so
best
over
line, what was the best line for this whole year? The best line was
if they indict me, I'm gonna
no,
blow
no, no. This
West
was
Bank.
the best line was it was when Kansas Owens was talking to that one so-called rabbi. And he's
Oh,
like some along the lines of um you're we can't. Oh man, God, wait, hold on.
all
So
right. Oh, I'll give you my best line of the year so far.
no, this is okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Was Ben Shapiro saying that if you don't support the nuking of the Japanese cities in World War II, you're un-American. Like, dude, I'm like, you're an idiot,
Totally.
bro.
No, this one was like, ah man, I wish I can find. I'm gonna find it right now because this was like bar none. I think the best, most audacious.
I'll give it to Candace Owens, man. She gets some people to uncloak, dude. Like whether you
Yeah,
like her or not, she gets under people's skin, bro. I'll tell
yeah.
you, I remember the very first time Candace Owens ever was on Alex Jones, dude. Like I caught her first moment, dude.
Oh really?
Yep. She was like a weirdo lefty and something like she got doxxed or something and saw it and then like went public with it and the first person to like pick her up was Alex Jones, dude, and
Huh.
give her a platform. So it was 10 years ago, 12 years, 10, 12 years ago.
So it was something like, I can't remember exactly, but it was like we can one day forgive what the Palestinians did to us on October 7th. Okay, we can forgive that, but
Oh,
we'll
we'll
never
never
forgive
forgive
back
them for what they made us do to
they
their
made us,
children.
yeah, for what they made us do to them. I
No,
was like,
to their children, I think he said. No,
huh?
the level of insanity is
To
too.
make us kill their children.
Well, do you listen to that Bassem Youssef guy?
Yeah, I like him. He's a
Yeah,
good guy.
well, but his thing is it like like
Funny.
he's so over the target with like, what do you want me to say, man? Like he's good.
Yeah.
Like I watched the late. Did you see the one he did on that Patrick Bet David with the guy? And
Oh,
he was
those
like,
guys
oh,
suck
dude,
so bad.
it's talk about a dude staying cool under fire with some uninformed idiot for 2 hours. Just it was mind melding, dude. That dude's is gnarly, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he is.
and
He's
he's a
tough.
yeah.
He's tough, man.
He's
You can tell he's tough. He's
well,
he's got it.
but he talks about it. He's so bummed out about it. It's not toughness. It's
Yeah.
utter just. It's utter just like whatever. What do you want me to
I
say?
mean, I get it. But meaning that he's dealing with it, the best way. Being in those interviews, I mean, looking at everyone else, how they, I guess that is you have a kind of a form of like you're like apathetic towards these people because they're so retarded. You're like, whatever. That's how it gets. But that is, yeah, I think you're right. Just he's probably just like totally bummed and over it.
No, he talks about it. Like I listened to him on one thing where he gets into, he was on some BBC thing with some dude. They're like, how do you? And he's like, look, I'm so utterly horrified about what's going on that like I'm not even pretending that there's any hopefulness in this. Like this is a disaster.
This is
Humanity, like, and I thought that really, it's like I don't see any way to get around the fact that
I believe the
this,
same way, but that's why I said like that's the reality of what's happening, and it's like, well, how do you become one less retard in the world and
dude,
make
I'll
a
give you
life
my,
that's
you know what I do, Jordan? I go try to live my day as gracefully as I can out in my field with my animals and my crops and my family. And I think about those people that have had their opportunity removed. And I sometimes have a little mini conversation with them. And I ask them what I should do. And they go thrive because I'm showing you something. Like you're not to martyr me.
Well, you're not supposed to like go and I'm not supposed to dye my hair blue and go and scream at the devil.
No, we're
Dye
not
my
supposed to
beard
join
blue
the
and then
insanity.
scream victimhood to a devil.
We got to
I'm supposed
build.
to I'm supposed to rise up above it and and be an exemplar for my kids and hopefully for society and
No,
but
I think we're supposed to plant
correctly.
seeds and plant trees and have a kinder, softer gentleness with what's right in front of us.
It's true.
Honor them because they aren't sacrificing for us. They're being sacrificed for the people to hopefully wake some people up. And people are waking up at this point, is there's no denying it. And the people who truly need to be shocked into maybe finding a relationship with God, like that's who they're doing their job for. For us, man, we know that's why we're horrified. But I remember we had that conversation. Like I turned it all off and I just try to go and honor it every day and just do my very best to make things grow in the dirt.
I agree, bro.
I
I
love
just
you,
realized
Jordan.
we're super color coded.
Yeah. But hey, brother, on like a more serious note, I love you, man.
Love
Like,
you too, bro. I
and
appreciate the conversations. I
let's
always learn a lot. I always learn a lot from you, and it's
same
humbling.
here, man. Same here, dude. And thanks for picking up the phone when I was having my little league rage today. That's another
All
story.
good, man. I know you do the same for me.
Of course, man. No, dude. It's nice to converse about it, dude, and actually talk to someone who's not conned, trying to figure it out, man. All right, let's go love on our children and our wives, brother.
All right, bro. Take care, huh? Love you,
All
man. You
right.
have a good one.
God's
Give it
blessed us,
to
brother.
your people.
Okay. Good night.
Later.